This is Ian from Easy Genie, and today I'm going to show you how I go about trying to read an old will that I've downloaded off of the internet. And if this video helps, please take a moment to like it and follow me. And let's get started. So this is a will that I downloaded from Scotland's People. It's 20 pages long. I downloaded both an image of the first page as well as a PDF of all the pages. It's like, 20 pages long. So there's a lot of writing on there. And when I first saw this, I was kind of disappointed because the handwriting, it's not that clear. Some things I can understand very well, other things I can't at all. And I was able, however, just to work through it, and this is how I did it. So the first thing I did when I got this particular document, I have another copy of it elsewhere, but what I did is I downloaded it to my hard drive, and then I adjusted the brightness of the document because you can see it looks kind of dark. So you can do this either on a Mac or a Windows machine. I think for Windows you use Paint, for Mac you use Preview. And basically what I do is I click auto levels, and if that doesn't do anything, then I start adjusting the exposure. You can see that brightens it up. And then the other thing I can do is adjust the contrast, which basically makes the words a little bit sharper, a little bit darker, maybe easier to read. However, I can also see that some of the ink from the other page is kind of coming through to the other side, and that in the contrast makes that show up. There is a sharpness control as well, and you can see that helps a little bit as well. So adjusting the image resolution and the brightness is one way to be able to read things more easily. The second thing that I do is when I get a document like this, of course, when you're reading a will, an old will for genealogy research, you want to find the names that are relevant to the family. Like, I'm leaving my belongings and my property to my sons and my daughter, and here are their names. That's what you're looking for, but oftentimes you have to wade through a lot of other stuff, as well as names that may not be related at all to your family, but they're the name of like the executor or something like that. So it can be a little bit tricky. And what I recommend doing, rather than just zeroing in on the name, like this name here, I can see it's Archibald. Rather than going straight to that, what I'm going to do is actually start at the very beginning of the document and then start reading the whole thing. And the reason why is because I've found that if you start reading it out loud, actually reciting out loud what you're seeing on the page, that gives you clues to the cadence of the language, assuming it's in English language, and it will make it much easier to get through some of these tricky words. And let me show you what I mean. So I'm going to start at the beginning of this paragraph. Aberdeen, I know that's the location where this will was enacted or put to paper. This, I can't read it. It looks kind of like an M or an H, and actually, I realize it says at Aberdeen. So I'm going to start at Aberdeen and keep on reading. And listen to me. At Aberdeen, the 7th day of June in the year 1000, this is an abbreviation, and 851, in the presence of Archibald Davidson, Esquire, advocate, conveying or convessing, I can't read that, of the commissariat of Aberdeen. I can't read that. Compared Robert Smith, advocate in Aberdeen, as procurator, and gave in the inventory of the personal estate. So as you can see, I was able to get probably about 95% of the words in this particular paragraph, and that's because I was starting from the beginning and actually reading out loud. If I try just to kind of pick out words at random and read them, it's a lot harder to do. So that's my advice right there. And then another important piece of advice for these words that I couldn't quite get, like this one right here, composed, what I might do is I'll try to find a letter in there that I can't read, and then compare it with another letter on the same page that I can read. So this last word here, it looks like a D, but it could be something else. So what I might do is look around on the page and see if I can find another example. And indeed I can. This is and you can see the same style is used up there as is down here. So that's a D. For numbers, it can also be tricky. Look at this. Let's assume that they didn't write out in longhand what the number is. This could be 1837, 1857. 1851 actually would not be my guess just by looking at it. But what I can do, if I'm not really sure what the numbers say, first of all, some numbers are clear, like 1 and the 8. It's these two numbers that are the tricky ones. What I might do is find other numbers on the page that can help clue me in to what the actual number is. So this one could be a 5 or a 3, and this one could be a 1 or a 7. So right over here, I see actually there's some numbers. I might have to rotate the document so I can read them more easily. But this, I can find the 1, I can find a 4. This looks like a 5. So I might take these particular numbers, and this looks like a 3 up here, and I might be able to compare them with what's down here and this particular number and determine what it is. So anyways, that's my approach for trying to decipher old wills. You can see there's a couple different things that you have to do in concert with each other. One of them is dealing with the quality of the image. The other thing is actually trying to read through the actual will rather than picking out words at random. If this video helped, please take a moment to like it and follow me. And easygenie.org is our official website. Lots more blog posts about tips for being a better genealogist.